basically we're dealing with a 10-year-old child. We're trying to figure out how to kind of reintegrate and allow for visitation today. What I am requesting for on behalf of my client are some initial periods of possession, starting with, and I understand the FaceTime has already kind of started, but to include FaceTime visits or whatever video visits they have. Number 2 would be for the the mom and the dad and Harper to meet in a public location, to allow for in-person visits, maybe 4 hours at a time, maybe several periods of 4-hour visitation at some point, maybe leading to 6 hours, where given, I'm sorry. Okay. And given the background with the altercation that happened, we would I would ask that this be there be a public location for the meetup and drop off. That at some point Harper has expressed a desire to be able to meet see her cousins again. So some visitation where there's her cousins are involved. I would wait until we have final hearing to look in the overnight visit realm and just start with this and see where this goes. I would also ask on behalf of my client for some support, especially as we're close to Christmas. I understand, and we can bring this up on the record, that Mr. Boyd has offered some money recently, but we would like to see something, set up and consistent to help Harper. And I think that's where we are right now, Judge.
All right, then, Mr. Diamond.
Thank you, Your Honor. So state's request is to get child support and medical support set up. I believe the testimony will be government health coverage, and talking to Mr. Boyd, I believe his testimony will be that he makes about $15 an hour. The average week he gets about 25 hours a week. By 4.3 weeks, I have $1,612.50 is the average gross. So requesting $73 a month on the medical, assuming my assumption is correct. And then guideline child support, 1 in, none out. He has children, but they're older. They're emancipated. So the request would be $275 a month, and requesting that obligation begin January 1, 2025, and also requesting the court to hold in abeyance the retro until we come back. And other than that, I defer to the court in the item regarding conservatorship, possession, and access.
All right, I'm still writing. All right, then. At this time, I'll ask both Mr. Boyd and Ms. Wilson to raise their right hands, and I'll get everybody under oath. Thank you. Whole truth and nothing but the truth will help you?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. You're both officially under oath, and I'll allow the I'll tell you what, Mr. Diamond, since the majority of this information that we're going through today will probably come from the line, I'll go ahead and let her call the first witness and then let you cross-examine. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Judge. I'll call Jennifer Wilson. Miss Wilson, can you go ahead and unmute yourself again? Okay.
I think I did. Okay.
Yeah, there you are. Okay, can you please state your name for the court?
Jennifer Wilson.
And how are you related to Harper Boyd?
Her mother.
Okay, and who is her father?
Sean Boyd. Robert Boyd.
Okay, so is his name Sean Robert Boyd?
Robert Sean Boyd.
Robert Sean Boyd. Okay, and so, but you call him Sean, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so, where does Harper live? Which parent does she live with?
She lives with me.
And how long has she lived with you?
Forever. I mean,
Okay.
even when we were together.
Okay. How old is she?
10.
When is the last time Harper has seen her dad in person? Or approximately how long has it been?
It's been 3 to 4 years.
Okay. What happened prior to that gap? Was there an incident that happened that caused that gap in her seeing her dad?
Yes.
Okay. Who all was involved in that incident?
Robert, me, and Harper's sister.
And was Harper there as well?
Yes.
Okay. Before we go into all of this, are you where you are by yourself, or is Harper where she can hear all this?
Harper's in her room with her door shut.
Okay, good. So without going into too many details, what roughly happened on that day?
We were arguing and he had hit me, and Casey had ran up and told him to stop, and he had hit her. I was already in the ditch and he knocked Casey into the ditch.
And then has it been so, and not to rehash all this too much, but it's important to figure out why this is, we're trying to figure out the proper visitation for this. Is this so have there been criminal issues that have come out of that incident?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what the status is on any of those charges?
He got a 2 years adjudicated probation for Casey's case.
Was that a misdemeanor or felony?
Felony.
Okay. Is the other case, there's a misdemeanor case as well, right?
That's my case.
Okay. And is that resolved yet?
As far as I know, no.
Okay. So out of that, it's been, does that cause you a lot of anxiety?
It is talking about it.
I kind of picked up on that. So it causes anxiety to talk about it. And do you try to avoid talking about that around Harper?
Yes.
Okay. Does it make her anxious?
I'm sure it would.
Are you trying to move on from that and try to
Yes.
figure out how to support your daughter?
Yes. I just want to move forward. It's in the
Okay.
past. It's in the past.
Okay. You kind of, and I had to bring that up for legal reasons, but does it make you nervous just even bringing it up?
Especially with Sean here, yes.
Okay. So do you look forward to a time when maybe you're able to communicate with Sean better about these things for Harper's sake?
Yes.
When I say you, we talked about this before. It's not your job to do all of that, but are you looking for a time when the two of you are able to communicate better?
Yeah, I want to be able to communicate 100% with him about Harper and be able to move forward 100%.
Okay, good. So, has Harper expressed an interest in moving forward and getting to see her dad again?
Yes, yes.
And then since we have spoken previously, you have allowed Harper to communicate with him via like FaceTime or something like that, right?
It was my idea. Yeah.
Did Harper like it?
She enjoyed it. Yeah, she enjoys it.
So do you want to continue that?
Yes.
Did you also brought up a situation where you had kind of found out last minute about a choir concert and you mentioned something to Sean. Would you be interested in him, being able to participate in things like that?
Yeah, I would love for him to be able to participate in things like that.
Okay. In the meantime, there's still kind of that one charge that's pending that involves the two of you. So that has to be resolved. Do you know when that's going to be resolved? Do you know anything? Well, no, you said you don't know anything about the timing on that, right? Okay.
I don't.
One of your things that you said is about the visitation. Do you think it would be helpful for the three of you to meet in a public location at first?
At first, I do. Yeah.
Okay. And then at some point work to where it's maybe less structured.
Yes, if we can get, I want to just move forward and be able to do what we need to do for Harper.
Okay, good. And so you live outside of Belton, right?
Yes.
Okay. For right now, are you wanting to strike that? So as far as visitation, do you have any ideas about where you could meet up for visits with Harper and her dad?
We could go to museums like y'all mentioned, parks if it's warm, just I'm sure we could figure something out.
Okay. How do you feel that you would be able to communicate with Sean best?
Ms.
By
Cusack?
phone?
Excuse me, I'm
Yes,
sorry, I
Judge.
hate to interrupt. I was thinking about that when I spoke with Harper, and I know what I used to do with my kids when they were younger. And ma'am, the Barnes and Noble in Harker Heights has a large area, and there's lots of things in the periphery, but they don't mind you hanging around for 3 or 4 hours in the bookstore. So that might be something y'all can look at going to. And then of course there's the places nearby that you can also go to, movie theaters,
There's
restaurants,
zoos.
stores. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Zoos. I don't know if
Okay,
like
yeah. But yeah, the Waco Zoo, anything like that. But I'm just letting you know, for indoor activities, you might want to look at something like that because we used to go to the bookstore in Waco, and we were there we going to hang out there 3 to 4 hours, and that was
Right.
not a problem. So anyway, just a little input from me. Sorry,
Thank
I'll let you go
you.
ahead. I'll go ahead and let you proceed down the Schools Act. Thank you. So I looked it up
Thank
to make sure that I want to make sure the bookstore was still open because they're not around anymore. It's like they used to be. So yeah. Anyway,
Thank you, Judge. How when you spoke or when Harper spoke with her dad, was it on your phone or her phone or how did that happen? What device did you use?
It's on my phone. Harper doesn't have a phone.
Okay. So is that a good way to communicate with Sean or have you tried any co-parenting apps?
I didn't even know there were co-parenting apps. We just use my phone.
Okay. Is that something you're comfortable with?
Yes. As long as we can keep it about Harper and just focus on Harper, I'm good with co-parent. I just want to co-parent.
All
I just want to co-parent.
Again, ma'am, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I'll let Ms. Kuzak will tell you this. I normally have when we deal with these type of circumstances, I normally have parents go ahead and use the co-parenting app. They're both on Google Play and iTunes. They download to your phone, tablets, laptops, whatever you have, and they include a FaceTime function, a texting function. They even include a notice function and a money transfer function. It's all in one spot. And the reason I like co-parenting apps because the information can be gotten off the phone and brought into court if necessary. If somebody comes and say he said, she said, guess what? It's all sitting there in the cloud and we can figure it out. So
That's fine. That's fine by me. Whatever works with Sean and
okay, and it's free. So I'll let Ms. Kuzak go over that with you. Thank you.
okay.
And so that would involve, and so you have an email address, correct?
Yes.
Does Sean have that email address?
I can give it to him.
Okay. So that co-parenting app, probably the one that the judge is talking about is called AppClose, AppClose, and you can basically sign up. You can use your email as an account kind of base, and then you can send him an invite, and then it tracks all of those things. So are there any other things that you can think about on visitation that you think should be addressed?
I just want to make sure we keep the conversation, of course, about Harper and everything, not about the past.
Okay.
I would like that. And also I don't have his email address, so I couldn't invite him.
Okay, so he'll have to share that with you for you to be able to send that request. On issues dealing with money, as the state pointed out, and I think is probably good, we can save the issue of any retro or back pay for a final hearing. But for right now, has Sean offered money to you recently?
Yes. He has given me $140 recently, which has helped out tremendously, and I really do appreciate it.
Okay. And then so you're probably wanting to set up child support, correct? Just regular child support.
That, I mean, that would help out, of course. That would definitely help.
Okay. I pass the witness, Judge.
Your witness, Mr. Diamond, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And Ms. Wilson, this will hopefully be brief. What are you doing for medical coverage for your daughter?
She has Medicaid right now. I'm not sure for how much longer due to where I work.
Okay. If the Medicaid gets cut off, would you put her on your works insurance? Or would
I'm
you
not sure
look to
what
do
I'll,
CHIP?
I'm not sure what I'll do. I don't know what I'd be able to do, honestly.
Okay. All right. Well, will you get in touch with me if you end up losing the Medicaid?
Yes, could you
Ma'am,
email?
when's it up for renewal?
I have to look. I haven't even looked recently. I'm sure it's coming up though because I haven't done it in a whole hot minute, so I'm sure it's soon.
Thank you.
Other than that, did you hear the numbers that I gave the court in my opening?
I did.
And are those numbers acceptable to you?
If it is what it's fine. Any little bit helps.
All right, well, ma'am, here's the deal. The law says I'm supposed to do it a certain way, and what Mr. Diamond quoted was the way that the Texas Family Code says I have to look at child support, at least for the basic, and I can go above beyond that if there's a special circumstance. But for right, I don't think that's this case. But anyway, that's the norm.
Every little bit.
Right?
I appreciate every little bit.
All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, you may proceed, Mr. Diamond.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. And then the last question, and then my request to the court is to start the obligation January 1. Is that the court has discretion to start it earlier than that, to start it later than that, but that's my request, and the question to you is if that's acceptable or not.
That's perfectly fine. Are you talking to me still? I'm
Yes,
sorry.
ma'am.
Okay, yes, no, that's fine.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Wilson. I'll pass the witness, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. Ms. Kuzak, anything on redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, call your next witness. All right, here's the deal. Okay, before you go there, since we know Mr. Boyd still has that one matter pending that involves Ms. Wilson, then we are not going to ask any questions about that. We're going to stay 100% away from that. I'm only focused Fifth Amendment on that, and we'll take care of that. You can't ask him questions about settings coming up and where we can see the time frame we may be looking at. We'll also need to get from him a copy of any type of bond agreement he has or any type of court orders as far as restrictions that he is now under based on him being out on bond on that one. And we'll also, the other matter though, we will need to definitely get work on any all in terms, conditions, and of his 2-year probation for the assault on the minor. And we need to get a copy of that so we can see what we can do as far as having to cherry pick his rights under possessory conservatorship. All right, Mr. Boyd, I just said a lot of legal mumbo jumbo, but you've got at least 2 sets of documentation out there that may affect the documentation that we normally do here for visitation and rights to children. So I'll need to see what those are, so we can see what we can do and not get you any type of violation problems with your circumstances. All right.
Yes,
Anyway, with all that legal mumbo jumbo said, I'm gonna go ahead and let Ms. Kuzak call you as a witness at this time, sir. And would you please state your full name for the record?
Robert Sean Boyd.
All right, thank you, Ms. Kuzak. You're a witness.
Thank you, Judge. This is actually going to be brief, Judge, for the reasons that you basically stated. I would like, after we're finished with the testimony, once we go off the record, I would like to be able to get email addresses from both parties. I just won't ask them that right now, but I'd like to get those later. If I can try to remember that. Mr. Boyd, Harper is your daughter, correct?
Yes.
Okay. What the judge was saying before, and I'll admonish you as well. I know it's going to be super tempting for you to say it didn't happen like that, this different way happened, but anything that you say about that incident This is under oath and someone can use, you know. So I'm not going to ask you any questions about it, but I would also admonish you from really just talking about it at all until that other charge is resolved. I'm just going to ask you about the procedural part of it, like where the status is on this legally. As to, there was a felony that resulted in a 2-year deferred adjudication, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You have said something about that where that you're still talking about that with an attorney, but the procedural status is that appears to be resolved at this point, correct?
That one is resolved.
Okay. There is also a misdemeanor that is not yet resolved that you are probably getting close to resolving, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so, and there are no other charges dealing with this other than those two, correct?
Right. Correct.
As to the visitation, how has that been going?
On
You know, time.
it's been going good. We had fun every time we talk. I just let her do her own pace. I don't try to, hound her or bug her and all that stuff. But it's been going good.
And so you heard, when I was talking with Miss Wilson, do you also are you wanting to move forward and try to figure out how to save or how to spend more time with Harper?
Yes.
And so you understand that that's going to start slow because it's been, there's been a large gap of time.
Yeah. I understand
Okay.
It's been a large gap of time. Yeah.
Okay. So if this starts with FaceTime and you still have that ability throughout this whole process, but then you meet up in public, in a public place, is that something you are interested in setting up?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. Do you have any suggestions about places where you could meet?
Mm,
And I say that we've already scoped through all of them. So if you're okay with those, that's fine. But can you think of any additional ones?
Right now, I was going to say the lake, but it's a little cold right now. Normally we go to the lake, we go outside, we go fishing. We got all that stuff.
Okay. And then I think at the beginning, when you guys meet up, actually that's something I can just do in closing. So visitation, we could start with Facebook, then move to about 4 to 6 hours. Can you think of any other visitation, parameters you'd like to offer or anything that you're interested in?
I would like to see her on Christmas Day and give her her presents. It's been 3 Christmases without her, and it's been kind of rough. I'd like to see her.
Okay, so some Christmas visitation.
Yes.
Do
That's
you,
it for now, and everything else will just fall into place.
what is your schedule for the next, until Christmas?
I have Sundays off
Okay.
unless
you
I'm
have
rained out or
Sunday?
something. But
Okay.
Sundays, yeah.
Do you have any time off at Christmas?
Christmas Day. What day? Was it on a weekend? Is it on a Friday? I don't remember what day it's
So
on.
Wednesday,
Christmas Eve.
next Wednesday.
So I'll probably be off. I'll probably have to go back to work Saturday, and then I'm off Sunday again.
So you'll have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, you're thinking?
I probably just is Thursday, Friday. I have Christmas Day and possibly the next day.
Okay. So the 25th and the 26th, do you know if you have any time on the 24th?
I think we're working on Christmas Eve. I mean, but I'm back home about 6:30, in the evenings. So I'm not gone just all day.
Okay. I think that's all I have, Judge. I pass the witness.
All right, real quick, Mr. Boyd, who is your attorney on the misdemeanor matter, sir?
Miss Palmer, Susan Palmer,
Susan Palmer, and where's she
Yes.
at now?
Austin.
All right, thank you. You may proceed, Mr. Diamond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Boyd, did you remember what I told the court a little while ago about your earnings in the child
Yes.
support?
Yes.
And were those numbers acceptable to you?
Yeah.
And just to, so I have it on the record. So I have $1,612.50 is the average monthly gross. Is that your understanding?
Yes.
And then, so I calculated the child support 275 and the medical at 73. You understand that?
Yes.
And then my request to the court, at least for now, is to begin that January 1 so that you're not already starting off behind. You understand that as well?
Yes.
Okay. I appreciate it, Mr. Boyd. I pass a witness, Your Honor.
Right, any other witnesses or anything on redirect, Ms. Kuzak?
No, Your Honor.
All right, guys. Again, I'm going. We know who his attorney is. Sir, did you have the same attorney for the felony matter, or did you have another attorney?
I had another. It was Stephen Dubai was for the felony.
Oh, okay. Mr. Dubai used to be here in Bell County. He's
Yeah.
Okay.
I think ours is actually his last case for the child support or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, well, what we're going to need, sir, is a copy of that paperwork, your terms and conditions, and Ms. Kuzak, I'll have her get in contact with your current counsel and also to get a copy of your paperwork with them. Because again, there are certain conditions that are usually appropriate that courts order based on while matters are still pending. And I definitely need to see a copy of those before I start giving you your rights. Obviously, I can give you your rights for specific FaceTime type visits. I usually do those every Sunday. Every Sunday that the non-custodial party doesn't have the child with them, I usually set up at 6 p.m. When 60 minutes comes on at 6 p.m., that's when mom or dad and the child get together and do a FaceTime and talk. And since I know Harper can do an hour easy, so I'll go ahead and order an hour for that. That's what I'm looking at doing. Yeah, we're not talking about small child, we can't talk. So yeah.
Well, we've been talking pretty freely and enjoyable on FaceTime for a week or two already. So we can talk more than that hour if we want.
Yeah. I just usually set it up as part of the court order. That way you know specifically when it's going to happen. And of course, you and Miss Wilson and Harper can agree to anything else different you wish to. But again, what I'm most worried about is making sure that we don't violate anything dealing with your probation or your bond.
Right.
So that's why I need that paperwork, and I need it before I can really make a ruling on how to set things up. And Miss Kuzak, if you can get that I hate to put that on you, if you can get that in the next 24 hours, where I can get something out for these folks, so we can set up Christmas and everything else, that'll be fine. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and let the lawyers make a closing statements, and then I'll hear from both of you, and we'll see what we're gonna do. Thank you. So at this time, Ms. Kuzak, anything else in closing, please?
Judge, just I would ask there, be an initial period of visitation. Obviously, FaceTime is an overarching, should be allowed across the different steps. I think assuming, and I understand what you're saying about getting the bond paperwork. So you need the bond paperwork. You don't need the deferred for right now, right?
I need both of them. I need both of them.
Okay.
The deferred would also control also, because I'm pretty sure there's some pretty strong things in there concerning the other child. So I want to make sure there's no problems with that. So yeah.
Okay.
And the bond
I would just.
And anything else, any other restrictions that the court put in above and beyond the bond in the court's paperwork too. Okay.
Okay, I'll ask her for that after I get Mr. Boyd's email address. Actually, you know what? I think I have that because I think he emailed Miss Molina about something. I think I can capture it off of that one. I'm just asking for 4 hours at this point, and then maybe going up to 6 hours. I'm asking to reserve the issue of overnights until we see how this goes. It's been 4 years. I am interested in getting it from here to happy as quickly as possible, but I also think that there needs to be some structured, progress through that. So I would ask for no overnights right now unless the parties reach an agreement to the contrary. I would ask for, a public location. I think that initially, I think it needs to be a small circle. I don't think anybody needs to bring family members, for the first couple periods, so that way it's just not as overwhelming. I think the cousins, the court heard that Harper is really interested in seeing her cousins, so I think that needs to be introduced, which would all obviously make the circle bigger. But I think the first few visits should be just about Harper and her dad, with her mom being able to be there in a public location to make sure everything goes okay, and so that she can monitor as well. I'll obviously admonish both parents, just really, this is such a hard situation, for Harper to be in, to try to, to minimize conflict. I'll just say that that's not really something the court can order, but I would just ask both parents to try to minimize that conflict for Harper's sake. Then as far as the child support, I believe that that's appropriate. I feel that it's I'm sure needed. As far as Christmas visitation goes, one suggestion is that they actually meet at Barnes and Noble. I've met with kids in Barnes and Noble before. They have Christmas decorations out. It's Christmassy, and so it might be kind of good for that initial Christmas period of visitation. They have tables, where they can sit down, and I'm sure she can open up presents there. And I believe that's all I have. I'm looking forward to Harper being able to get through this phase.
All right. So Diamond.
Your Honor, unless the court wants me to repeat the proposed numbers, I'd waive the closing.
All right. Yeah, because we got those down pat. All right. I'm going to start with you, Mr. Boyd. Anything else you think I need to know at this point, sir?
No, sir.
All right. And yeah, so you do have good, reliable transportation. If I was to make, I'll go ahead and just take the stress out of y'all, figure out something and make that first visit this coming Sunday at the Barnes and Noble's bookstore in Harper Heights. You have no problem getting there, sir?
No, sir. I can do that.
Okay. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Ms. Wilson, anything else you want to tell me now?
I do work this Sunday. I work Sunday until after Christmas, and then I won't be working Sundays anymore.
All right, so this coming Sunday you are working then, ma'am?
Yes, I'm working. I picked up extra hours. This is my only day off is today.
Okay.
But until I won't work late though Sunday.
Okay. And I think they close early on Sunday. That's the one day that we got. Maybe Saturday. What time do you get off, ma'am?
On Sunday, I probably will be done at least by 3 at the latest.
Oh, okay. So we still get a couple hours in that way. And how far it would take you longer than now? Say if I was to make this from 4 to, and I'm not sure what their Christmas hours are. They used to close at 6, but this has been Christmas. The Christmas week they might even close later than that. So if I was to make it at 4 o'clock for at least a couple hours, or until they close, would that work for you this coming Sunday, then, ma'am?
That's fine.
Okay, and I'm going to go online and double check that and see what time they close. But anyway, anywhere y'all can, but after Christmas is over with, you're back to having not working on Sundays, ma'am.
Unless management makes me work, I'm off Sundays.
All right, good enough.
I just picked them up right now just because of the holidays.
Right, understood. They need to make some extra money. Understood, ma'am. Got it. All right. Well, what I got to do is get a copy of Mr. Boyd's paperwork, because again, we're gonna do everything because to make sure there's no violation of anything that's going to get him in deep water with the 2 courts he's having to deal with. I'm going to go ahead and keep you both as temporary temporary conservatives. Ma'am, you're temporary sole manager conservative. He is possessory conservative. Again, I want to keep those rights once I get a copy of all that paperwork. I have to do this all the time. Unfortunately, Certain circumstances crop up way too often. Like I always say in my opening speech, the judge gets it. This is family law. I've been doing this for 35 plus years, and we're dealing with your kids and your money. Believe me, you want to get me upset or get me going? Yeah, money and the kids. All right, not a problem. So, but anyway, I want to go ahead and have to see if Ms. Kuzak can get me a copy of that so I can get y'all something in writing. But for but if I can't get you something in writing, if you can't get an actual writing, I'll have Ms. Kuzak let you know that this coming Sunday, starting somewhere between 4 and 4:30 at the Barnes and Nobles in Harker Heights, Texas, is a go. You can go. It's open there, general public, and after that, y'all can agree to go anywhere. If y'all want to go over to Cracker Barrel or where's what the kids used to like. I never did like that place that much, but they love those chicken strip things that they have there. There are all kind of restaurants right there. You know,
Cheddars, yeah.
yeah. So
Or Cheddars.
Yeah, Cheddars. That's it. Yeah, it's amazing how much food they try to give a little child on a child's plate of cheddar. So yeah, but the girls loved it. So yeah, but it is what it is. Y'all can see about going somewhere and having a late dinner if y'all want to. That's not a problem. Y'all can agree to go somewhere else in that general area. Sir, I'm not sure what I'm gonna be able to set up for Christmas Day, but I'll try to get y'all. We're open on Monday and Tuesday. I'll be here and I can get something out as necessary. Obviously, I want you to be able to exchange gifts, but you know, most places are closed Christmas, and so there's not a general public place except Sefco or something like that. So, but hey. I'm sorry. If push comes to shove, I can come up with a spot y'all can meet as far as one of those Sefco or one of those stations that actually have seating areas and food and a mini food court or something like that. So, but again, I'm gonna try to set you up, but I gotta see what those orders say at this point. I'm gonna go ahead and order the child support as requested by the state and the cash medical. It's due on before the first day of January. However, sir, if you want to get a little head start on that, how often do you get paid, sir?
Every week.
Every week. The state's going to include in the calculations what you should pay. Y'all still do that, Mr. I guess y'all don't. If you want to let him know what his weekly amount is, sir, Mr. Diamond, and once we get a court order, you can start getting that done, because it's not going to come out your paycheck right away, sir. You'll have to do it yourself, and you pay through the state disbursement unit in San Antonio. You can pay, go online, and once you have an account number and everything set up, you can go online and get that set up. Or if you go to any Walmart or CVS pharmacy and do a Western Union MoneyGram, it only costs $2 for child support. That's the cheapest. I believe that's the only cheap thing you do at Western Union. And give them a copy of your AAG number. It's right there on the top left-hand side of your order. And set it up, and it'll be electronically paid and sent to mom based on her account. So, but anyway, we'll get to that. And if either you have any questions about how to do that or make sure it gets done right, you can contact Ms. Kuzak on that. But for right now, again, this is what I'm looking at doing. I'm going to I'll tweak it once I see what those restrictions may entail based on Mr. Boyce. But again, I'll let you both know this much. I haven't had my first cup of coffee yet today, but yeah, Harper has made my day. All right, because I keep forgetting how far I'm away from her generation. I had to remind her that when I was her age, I only had 3 television channels, and there was no such thing as the internet. Okay, so yeah. Oh, and my 3 years in Belton, we only lost 4 football games the entire 3 years. So that's back in the good old days. So yeah. So anyway, she is a delight. I know why you want to see her, sir. Ma'am, I know why you want to take care of her. This was fun, and I'll let her know that if she wants to talk to me again, I've got no problems with it. All right. So anyway, guys, I'll start with the lawyers, and then I'll go to the parties. Questions? Yes.
Judge, I was just going to say, I looked up Barnes & Noble, and it shows on Sunday, unless there are different holiday hours, which I doubt leading up to. Sunday, it's open until 8 o'clock.
Great. That's the whole 4 hours. We're good.
Yes.
And after that,
yes, sir.
y'all can leave early and go, and like I say, go to Cheddar's or the Cajun place or my brother's favorite place, Five Guys. So, you know, wherever y'all want to go. All right, if y'all want to. And again, I'll try to get if Miss that will take care of this weekend. And hopefully by this Monday or Tuesday, Ms. Kuzak can give me everything else and I can get y'all something going for the rest of this holiday period going forward. Mr. Boyd, any idea what your schedule is looking like on the matter with your attorney out of Austin? Is it set for anything right now?
Well, we almost resolved it yesterday. They offered time served because I did that county time, but then my attorney said she
Okay,
wanted
don't tell anything your lawyer said. When the next time?
so it's reset for 60 days
60 days?
from tomorrow.
Okay, good enough.
From yesterday. I'm sorry, from yesterday.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. So that's y'all going back in February. So and yesterday was the 18th, so somewhere around February the 18th. Got it. All right. All right then, guys. Everybody, I'll let the state. Well, you'll get an order, but you probably won't get a live order until, like I say, sometime next week. And we'll tweak it out as best we can. And I'll add. I will also go ahead and add that I'm going to put y'all on AppClose, APPCLOSE. And ma'am, go ahead and set it up. And then and Ms. Kuzak, you able to confirm that you have Mr. Boyd's email?
I do. Mr. Boyd, I'm gonna send you an email as soon as we get done with this hearing. If you can give me your attorney's email or contact information, I'd like to contact her like before anything else so that I can try to get that paperwork to make sure that basically the visitation, that the judge has what he needs to be able to schedule the visitation.
Yeah, and right now, folks, I do anticipate that you might not have a court order for this coming Sunday, but Ms. Kuzak will send y'all both emails saying go, swarm, whatever, okay? And y'all are good to go on this coming Sunday, all right? And again, so since you're going you and Harper and the mom, y'all can agree to any time y'all want as far as FaceTime is concerned going forward. But like I say, I always make it the first Sunday. I usually make it the 6 p.m. on Sundays and 7 p.m. on Wednesdays each week as the norm. But since you're going to be with Harper at 6 p.m. this coming Sunday, you don't have to worry about it. All right?
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm shooting for. All right. Anything else, Mr. Diamond?
Yes, Your Honor. And just I run into some timing issues, Your Honor. So my request would be if I could draft the order today with the Sunday visitation and the child support and the AppClose, if I could maybe add some language, if I could maybe call this a provisional further temporary order.
Okay.
And then if I could have some additional language that the parties are to further visits as directed by Ms. Kuzak. Because I can draft it today, but after Friday is my last day until after Christmas, and so I'd love to have an order in place.
All right, let's do it that way. Great. I wasn't sure if y'all's skeleton crew day start on Monday or not. I'm gonna be here on Monday, but after on Tuesday, I'm not gonna be here either. So yeah, I got it. So.
Okay,
all right, so
thank you, Your Honor.
do that, and that way we can get a court order and get it. Everybody can get a copy of it and see what it looks like and circulate it. And anything else, sir?
No, that's it, Your Honor. And then I'll be back on the 30th, Your Honor. I think I'm actually before you that day, but then I'll be looking for additional guidance on the visitation, and I'll get the full further temporary order as soon as I get that.
All right, thank you. All right,
Thank you,
any other questions, Mr. Boyd?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Wilson?
No.
All right. Well, thank you both very much. And like I said, we'll go ahead and try to get this done, folks. And again, y'all take care, everybody. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you after the first of the year. And if I need to get you back in before then, I'll let you know. And again, next time, tell Harper if she needs a day out to school, come talk to me. Let me know. Okay, I'll get her a court order. I never thought about it, but yeah, I got the power to tell the principal. Yeah, let her go. Excuse absence. So yeah. All right.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Everybody, again, thank y'all both very much. She's got good parents, and I appreciate you. Thank you. We're off the record.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.